All right, Libra, this one's a little big. So, from Le Vampire, Death Rites, saying goodbye, formal occasion, honoring lives, and then destiny from Chakra Wisdom. When you're looking at death rites, it's talking about saying goodbye and honoring the lives of those you have loved and lost, whether they have actually passed or whether they have just left your life. And again, whether this is a good experience or a bad experience, once you say goodbye, it's giving you freedom to create your life the way that you choose with destiny. It's becoming a little bit more independent and taking charge of your life. A lot of people struggle with this. They feel like shit just kind of happens to them. But whoever it was that was involved in your life or came across your path has left you with something invaluable here. You are responsible for creating your life. All right, Libra. Here's your overall for the week. The Hermit. Deep soul searching, especially with the oracle cards. The Hermit, though. So for some of you, right now, it may be that you just need to be left alone, needing to reflect on things here, needing to look at everything that you've experienced and what you've learned from this. Looking at the initial star, what was it that you wanted to do in the first place here? What have you actually accomplished? And, for some of you, it's just wanting to be left alone or wanting to do something on your own. But we'll see here. In the past, the Six of Swords, so needing to move on from something difficult. And it's kind of left you in a place where you're on your own. And again, I still feel like the sense of independence, or at least needing to grab onto that now. But with the Six of Swords, it's so difficult. It's not that easy moving on from situations that, end up going in a direction that you didn't expect it to. Because I always look at the Five of Swords coming before this. It's not an easy transition, but it is a transition into something that's more calmer for you. And that may be being on your own or needing to just have some time to think about things with the Hermit being there. Oh boy. In the present, the Two of Cups. Now, I still get the feeling here that if we're talking about a relationship with the Two of Cups, there's definitely been conflict in the past where you may not have been seeing eye to eye, because the Two of Cups is, seeing things the same way, sharing your emotions, being on the same page. But looking at the Hermit, though, it's like there may still be those difficulties coming through that you may have thought that you have moved on from, but you're still needing to reflect on things, though. And it may have to do with the person that you're involved with, whatever that relationship is. Future conditions, the Five of Wands. And, this is what I'm talking about. These are things that you should have moved on from. But with the Five of Wands being in future conditions, you're still kind of like battling it out. It's like, two people who are not hearing each other, constantly butting heads. I don't think, yeah, absolutely, with the Hermit, this could be about internal conflict, but I think it's the petty arguments that are continuing that, should have been dealt with before. And I think for a lot of you, you've tried to move on from this, but it still seems to be a persistent thing, which may be why, the Hermit is there. Like, just leave me be for a minute, let me reflect on things and think about what I really need to do here. Your best path to follow, the Four of Cups. Don't, oh man, this card. It's going to be a pain in my ass this week. The Four of Cups. What I want to say is, don't just accept things the way that they are. If you are not satisfied with, how a relationship is going, you can't stay in this emotional funk and then just have no interest in anything. I look at the Four of Cups and I think for some of you, it's like looking at a relationship and going, this is not what I wanted. But not seeing an opportunity to fix that situation or to make that situation better. Be careful, especially with the Hermit being there, because you don't want to put yourself into this isolation where, you're just left in this kind of like blah state. It's not really depression, but it's being lethargic to everything that's happening, and just kind of sitting with the dissatisfaction and hoping and wishing for something better to just come along, right? But it is there, it's just that you're not seeing it because you're too focused on all the other things that are in front of you that are not fulfilling. They're not what you had wanted initially. In your environment, the Empress. With the Two of Cups being there, this should be, a good thing, an abundant relationship. And some of you may not be feeling that right now because I'm looking at it coming down this way and then in connection to your future conditions and looking at your best path to follow, your advice. This is being put in a situation where you just can't be nurturing anymore. It's like you can't give anymore. Now, the relationship, right? This could be about, a family relationship here. You could be the mother figure or you're dealing with a mother figure, which is possible here with the Empress. But I don't know. I look at this and I think if you're going into hermit mode, with everything else that's surrounding the Two of Cups, I don't think that this is a happy mama. This is a lack of abundance here, when there should be abundance all around you and the relationship that you're in, no matter what that relationship is. But for some of you, you may be reflecting on, if I can't make this connection, maybe I need to look at, doing things on your own, becoming independent, right? Creating your own destiny, but enjoying, what life you have, right? She is about enjoying the physical senses. This should be a perfect combination here, but everything else is suggesting that it's difficult at best. Oh boy, your hopes and your fears, death. So I kind of look at this and I think that for some of you, if you're looking at wanting to be on your own or wanting to be left alone, does that mean that this is completely over with? Because I look at death and think you can't turn back. You can't turn back from death. Once death comes in, that's it. The situation is over with. And it forces you to change. But can this situation change, though, too, looking at death? Can we end the way that things were or that should have been over with? Can things change for the better? But I look at this as your own personal transformation here with the Hermit being front and center. But the fear would definitely be that once this is over, it's over. And then coming out, the King of Pentacles. This, let me clarify him. Looking at the King of Pentacles, yeah, absolutely, you could be dealing with an earth sign here, but I'm looking at this and thinking, is he really showing, dependability here? Is he, a little bit more giving? Or is he more focused on what he can gain? Because the constant bickering with this person is not a good thing. And then the Six of Cups, wow. There may be a way here for things to get back on track, but the problem is we're going back to the past here with the Six of Cups. So first of all, the Chariot, and with the Six of Swords, this may be having to move. Absolutely, having to move on, being on your own now with the Hermit being there, but then coming back together here with the Two of Cups, but then going right back to the conflict that, kicked this all off in the beginning, where you've had to actually physically pick up and move because of the Chariot. Now, on the other hand, with the Six of Swords, these are things that, you should have moved on from. The both of you, not just you, but the other person that you're dealing with here. There should have been, the momentum going in the right direction. But it's coming back through here. Now, with the Knight of Cups, I mean, all three of them are not bad. The problem is everything that's surrounding it and where you are right now with the Hermit. With the Knight of Cups, you are talking about that offer that's coming through. But if it doesn't feel right and it doesn't feel good to you, there's no point in accepting those circumstances and continuing to be in this situation where there's this constant bickering, fighting, butting of heads, right? I look at the Knight of Cups and I think this is somebody who hasn't really thought this through. Especially if it's leaving you in a place where you're feeling a lack of abundance when there should be, this emotional connection, right? Now, looking at the Six of Cups, I go right back to the past. And I look at the Six of Swords, and I think that these are the things that are being brought back up. And that could be, though, based on the actions of this person, though, with the Knight of Cups. Doing things without really thinking about follow-through or what they're actually, offering in terms of emotions or what it is that they're actually wanting. There isn't a whole lot of intention setting when it comes to Knights. They're action-based. When you're looking at the Knight of Cups, somebody who is just acting on their emotions at the time. But those can change at any time, and that's absolutely what's happening with the Five of Wands being in future conditions. So we're going back to the past. Now, with the Six of Cups, though, this could be about going back to happy memories and needing to make a better connection. But the thing is, like I said, with the Hermit being there, it's like, I need to just think about that for a minute. I need to reflect back on the past and what difficulties initially you have been through and why things have not moved in the right direction when they should have with the Chariot, But like I said, for some of you, absolutely, this can signal moving out, being alone, moving away from this, picking up momentum in your own life, but things, being held up because of the connection coming back. So it could be about getting back together with someone, but things just going the same way that they were before. Wow, Libra. And if this is the case, then for some of you, maybe it is time to just say, goodbye, right? If you feel like you're no longer in control of what is happening in order to create your life the way that you choose, maybe it's time to just say, thank you, but I need to go my own way, with the Hermit being there. And freedom, oh boy, yes. You need to tap into your inner power, pay attention to that wisdom that is going to lead you to freedom, right? And it's not that there is a difficult choice that needs to be made here. I think that you know what you need to do. I just think that you need time on your own to kind of think about it before you actually do it. But meanwhile, circumstances just aren't changing if we're talking about, again, a relationship and somebody that you may be, getting back together with or considering getting back together with. Now this could be someone, though, that you are currently with, and things may have moved really quickly with the Chariot with no real sense of direction because of the Six of Swords. There was clearly some kind of difficulty that should have been over with. But you need to find your inner power here and the wisdom. And I look at the Hermit and think, what have you learned through this? But what you need more than anything is independence and freedom. Freedom to enjoy your life, and not accept circumstances if they're not what you want them to be. And then get to know each other. Learning to meet another's need for love is important for a relationship to grow. And I think that goes both ways because of the Two of Cups. But actions, right? We need to see some kind of action, some kind of follow through, right? And that's the thing with the Knight of Cups, right? Like, I need to see something. I need to see some kind of action here that says that, things are going to change this time. and then getting to know each other. You know, that can be hard to do when you're not seeing eye to eye, when there's constantly fighting and bickering and this struggle happening. You know, but as long as both of you are willing to take some time to actually know each other, then, you know, this situation could clear up, absolutely. Right? Things could progress in a much better way, looking at the Knight of Cups and the Six of Cups. But there are definitely some issues that need to be over and done with. Some things definitely need to change. I do think that you're going to take some time here to kind of look at everything, reflect on everything, do your own deep soul searching, and looking at your wisdom based on what you've experienced through this. But I do think that some of you may be, you know, looking at possibly ending this completely with death, but knowing that there is no going back from that. But like I said, you can't just sit back and accept the circumstances if they're not what you want. Because there's no reason why there shouldn't be, you know, this abundance surrounding you right now.